Rumors abound before the release of any Marvel movie, but there was a spectacular number of them for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Some outlandish reports turned out to be true, but a whole lot more were wildly, shockingly off. Warning, spoilers ahead. Marvel and Sony brought some of these wild rumors on themselves. By not actually revealing who Sadie Sink was playing in the movie until its release, they pretty much invited speculation to run rampant. The studios announced that Sink had been cast all the way back in March 2025, so people had over a year to dig through every fan wiki on Earth to come up with theories.
I've known for so long, and I've kept it a secret.
One of the persistent rumors was the character it actually turned out to be, Jean Grey of the X-Men. But there was a long list of other options that got traction. Because Sink's a redhead, and also because this multiverse thing is still going on, lots of folks believe she was playing an alternate universe version of Mary Jane Watson. Others figured she'd be Peter Parker's old flame Gwen Stacy, who famously died in the comics all the way back in 1973. An alternate universe version of Gwen is in the Spider-Verse movies, so why not here? There were plenty of other theories Sink would be playing a different version of Spider-Woman or Spider-Girl. In particular, the name Mayday Parker popped up quite a bit. That takes some messing around with time travel and/or interdimensional shifting, though. In the comics, Mayday is an alternate universe version of Peter's daughter who became Spider-Girl. There was also a version of Spider-Girl from the Ultimate Marvel universe who was a clone of Peter. We even got webbed into believing that was Sink's character for a minute. Just sounded too weird not to be true. But the wildest pull from all the potential roles for Sink is Shathra. Who's Shathra, you ask? Why, she's a totemic wasp goddess who sometimes terrorizes Spidey and his Spider-Verse pals. That one was also compelling, being so wildly specific in left field. One of the most persistent rumor slingers on X, Daniel RPK, said he thought the Shathra rumor was an intentional misdirect leak from Marvel to throw fans off the scent of Jean Grey. The reveal in the first Brand New Day trailer that Peter Parker was going through some kind of genetic mutation that was altering his body immediately got fans thinking of the comic story The Other. That story finds Peter going through dizzy spells and having weird dreams, which turn out to be the result of a radiation-driven disease.
What is happening to me?
After Spidey takes a serious beating from the villain Morlun, Peter appears to die, but he's then reborn, shedding his skin and emerging with new powers that make him even more like a spider. That's one reason fans seem to believe Spider-Man would kick the bucket in Brand New Day. If he died in the movie as he did in The Other, that means he'd come back even stronger after a sort of cocoon process, which kind of happens without the death part. Public statements from star Tom Holland, meanwhile, had fans worrying that Peter was going to permanently buy the farm. Holland was publicly speculating on who he'd like to be his replacement as Spidey in interviews. He had said previously that if he's still playing Spider-Man in his 30s, he had done something wrong. Some fans and writers for websites became convinced that Brand New Day would be Holland's last Spidey movie, but that's all just speculation. It's also been speculated Holland signed a deal to star in 2 more Spider-Man solo films after Brand New Day, plus 3 other MCU movies. You gotta have Spider-Man at Secret Wars, don't you? That's unconfirmed, though Holland has said he'll keep playing Spidey as long as they'll have him. Whatever the case, Peter sure doesn't die in Brand New Day, though he does take a bullet from the Punisher. Honestly, it'd be weird to give the movie where Spider-Man dies that title. Count us as having been suckered in by this one, too. Almost as soon as Brand New Day was announced, speculation began that the Chinese gangster Mr. Negative would be at the heart of it, and there was good reason to believe it. The comics initiative that Brand New Day is named after both introduced and heavily featured him as a major villain. Not only that, but Spider-Man No Way Home introduced Feast, a shelter where Peter's Aunt May worked to help people in need.
I saw Spider-Man in an ad for this place, and I thought he could help me. But you're not him.
In the comics, Feast is owned and operated by Martin Lee, who turns out in a shocking twist to be the alter ego of Mr. Negative. Once promotional material for Brand New Day started coming out, people became even more convinced that Mr. Negative would be playing a major role in the movie. The Day One promo video for the movie prominently featured Spidey on a tank that sure seemed to have the logo of Mr. Negative's gang, the Inner Demons, on it. And hey, maybe the tank did come from the Inner Demons, but they aren't driving it. In the actual movie, it turns out to just be some lady who's being mind-controlled by Jean Grey the whole time. Mr. Negative is nowhere to be seen, and the role the Inner Demons could have served is instead being handled by the Hand. But perhaps that tank logo is a tease for a future appearance. Rumors don't come out of nowhere. Well, sometimes they do, but often they come from people piecing together the information they have in an at least somewhat reasonable way. The notion that Scorpion would play a much bigger role in Brand New Day and merge with the Venom symbiote definitely seems to have come from that kind of thought process. Michael Mando's return as Matt Gargan, his first time back in the role since Spider-Man Homecoming, was announced all the way back in August 2025, and the end of Homecoming seemed to be building up the Scorpion as a serious threat to Spidey.
I've got some boys on the outside who would love to meet him. take a picture, slice his throat, put his head in a dryer.
Fans knew that Gargan bonded with the Venom symbiote for a while in the comics back in the 2000s. And wouldn't you know it, a piece of Venom's black goo got left behind at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. Thanks to dimension-hopping events in that movie, Eddie Brock briefly finds himself in the 616 universe, in a bar in Mexico. He gets sent back to his own universe by Doctor Strange's spell, but a little piece of Venom is left behind. Something has to happen with that, right? You'd sure think so. Mando even teased as much on social media, but it doesn't happen in Brand New Day, and it doesn't come anywhere near the Scorpion, whose rematch with Spidey is little more than a stepping stone in the wider plot of the movie. Back in the spring, various websites reported that Marvel had been looking to cast what was repeatedly described as an older female antagonist for Brand New Day. We think Sarah Snook and Anne Hathaway probably wouldn't have liked the term older, but their names were reported as two actresses who had been offered this role. Maybe by older, they meant older than Peter. Nicole Kidman's name also came up in a few headlines and Reddit threads. This naturally led to a whole bunch of theories as to who this antagonist could be. Some thought it might be Black Cat, though it would be a bit of a change from the comics to make her considerably older than Spider-Man. She's also more of an ally than antagonist most of the time. The character a lot of guesses ended up landing on was Silver Sable. The leader of the mercenary group The Wild Pack, Sable's loyalties are always to the highest bidder. And particularly with Sarah Snook, we can kind of see it. But there's no older female antagonist to be found. Maybe there was an early draft of the script with one, but it looks like rewrites and casting whiffs, Snook and Hathaway both reportedly turned Marvel down, led to Tremel Tillman's Bill Metzger becoming the primary bad guy. As casting and character details for Brand New Day dribbled out, the sheer number of villains that seemed set to appear was worrisome, frankly. On top of Metzger, Scorpion, a seemingly antagonistic Jean Grey, and what appeared to be a Mr. Negative appearance, there were also Boomerang, Tarantula, Ramrod, Tombstone, The Hand, and other rumored baddies like Silver Sable, Viper, and even Silver Samurai. There were also rumors that both Tarantula and Tombstone were the secret main villains of the entire movie. Marvel never even announced an actor for Tarantula before the movie got released. As for Tombstone, not only would a top bad guy spot be a coup for the character of old Lonnie Lincoln, but it'd be a big step up for actor Marvin Jones III, too. Jones played a Tombstone-like crime boss on the CW series Black Lightning, but that's pretty different from carrying a tentpole MCU film. Ultimately, most of the villains who appear are dealt with during an opening montage where Spider-Man protects New York from various criminals. Tombstone's appearance is super brief, and it's mostly just a nod to the Spider-Verse films, in which Jones also voiced Tombstone.
You messed up big time, kid. Very sloppy.
One other villain, though a romantic rival of Peter rather than a criminal for Spider-Man to fight, thought to be in the movie, was Paul Rabin. In the comics, Paul gets together with Mary Jane thanks to some convoluted dimension-hopping stuff. It sure seemed like Iman Esfandi could have been playing Paul. And who knows, maybe he was Paul, but if he was, it wasn't all that important. He doesn't ever get named and is only credited as MJ's boyfriend. The first three Tom Holland starring Spider-Man movies were all helmed by the same director, John Watts. For Brand New Day, Watts passed the baton to someone who's become one of Marvel Studios' go-to guys, Destin Daniel Cretton. Cretton's first Marvel project was directing Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings back in 2021. Much more recently, Cretton was a key creative driving force behind the surprise hit Disney Plus series Wonder Man, not only directing 2 episodes, but co-creating and executive producing the series. Some fans theorized that there had to be a reason Cretton was the next Spider-Man director beyond him simply becoming one of Marvel's most reliable creators. Maybe, just maybe, Brand New Day would be connected to Cretton's other work somehow. That led to rumors that maybe Simu Liu would appear as Shang-Chi. He's a martial arts guy, so he could help fight off the inner demons or the Hand, right? Some also believe that Brand New Day could pick on threads from Wonder Man, either involving the teleportation-enabling character Doorman or Simon Williams himself. But nah, Marvel simply picked a director they could trust to head up the movie. That's it. Okay, yeah, this one got us too. There were all kinds of reasons to think that Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock would be showing up in Brand New Day. He was in No Way Home as Peter's lawyer. The second season of Daredevil Born Again just set up a new status quo for New York City. The Hand, who are usually Daredevil villains, are in the movie. The Punisher, who first appeared in the MCU in the Daredevil Netflix series, is in the movie. Add to that Cox's cutesy denials when he was asked about being in Brand New Day. This is exactly the kind of stuff actors say when they're trying not to spill the beans.
Are you in the movie?
No. If I was in the movie, I would also say no, to be clear.
Right.
But I'm not in the movie.
Marvel has a long history of editing trailers to obscure, hide, or outright lie about who's showing up in their films, and fans were scouring the Brand New Day trailers to find where Daredevil might be hiding in plain sight. One shot in particular of Spider-Man facing down the hand had a suspiciously empty lower corner where the man without fear would fit very snugly. But Daredevil isn't there, nor anywhere else in Brand New Day. Cox's Matt Murdock would usually be a welcome addition, but in a movie as overstuffed as Brand New Day already is, he wouldn't even get all that much time to shine. On top of that, Matt has assuredly forgotten he was ever Peter's lawyer to begin with thanks to the ending of No Way Home, so we'd have to see Peter explain who he is to yet another friend. Plus, Born Again Season 2 ended with Matt in prison. Maybe we can get a true Spidey-Daredevil team-up somewhere down the road. There just wasn't room for it in Brand New Day.